everybody doing? Did you guys enjoy your ride upon the Staten Island Ferry? Well, I am so excited to welcome two of the stars of the film. We have Stephanie, who just played Bella. Welcome. And we have Poonam, who played Jazzy. What did you guys think of the film? Actually, before we start the Q&A, can I get a quick show of hands? Who has been on the Staten Island Ferry? All right. I've been on it a couple times. It was exactly like what you guys just saw. Can you guys talk a little bit about how each of you got involved with this project?
Okay. I'll let you start.
Well, Jamie's a friend of mine. He was one of the casting associates, and he called me in. And then it was pretty much just the normal process: self-taped, call back, and then my favorite part, which was the chemistry read, which actually was with Stephanie. That was so fun.
Mine is a little bit more long-winded than that. I've been working with Steven, our director, fearless leader, for several years now. I'm typically his first AD. So I was originally brought on to first AD this, and they know that I also act. So he said, hey, there's a role that you could be up for. So I actually auditioned for 2 roles, and then I got the call back for Bella, and then the chemistry read. So I still had to go through the whole process there as an actor. But I was like, I need this role. This is like made for me. You know a guy to,
And she was amazing as first AD and Bella, just juggling all of that. It was incredible to watch.
A little wild, but yeah, that's how I got involved.
My favorite, sorry, really fast. My favorite was when you were decked out as Bella, but then you had all your your fanny pack and everything as first AD, and you're on your video. It's really cute.
What was the other role that you auditioned for?
Dominique.
Oh, I auditioned for Dominique too.
Yeah, that one was fun.
Yeah,
too.
that was fun.
But she just killed it. She crushed it. She's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah, in real life, she's so funny.
The whole cast was casted so well. Everybody was great, both on screen and off screen. So we really loved out there.
I was with Steven, the director of the film, last night at the AMC Burbank 16, and I was pitching myself to play Minnie Mouse. You never know. Weird things have happened.
Anything can happen in New York.
That's true. So when you tell your family and your friends, hey, I'm going to be in a Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse movie, by the way, he's going to be, chopping a guy's penis off and beheading people, how do they react?
Yeah, so my family saw it last night. And I didn't really know that they were going to, but my sister's like, yeah, Mom, Dad, and then I saw, she took a picture, and my uncle's in the room. I was like, oh my God. I was like, hey, just so you know, it's definitely rated R, it's ridiculous. And my sister's like, yeah, we know, you warned us. I have not gone over any specifics, but my mom says she's very proud of me. So that's all that matters.
My brother got tickets right away, and he was there opening night in New York. He went by himself, and yeah, he's the best big brother in the world. He hates seeing me die, and he's constantly asking me, can you please make a movie where you're not either crying because someone you love is dying, or that you are dying yourself? Because I would really love to laugh at one of your movies. And I'm like, it's coming, just gotta get through all of these first. But yeah, my mom did not go see it, but my cousin, my sister-in-law, my nephews, so they've been very supportive, and everyone was like, you were, great job, we're so proud of you. And then one of my baby cousins was like, we love that face you made, maybe you can teach us next Thanksgiving. And my brother was like, no.
Also, don't have to Google it, because I had to Google it, and my search history and everything kept popping up, so yeah, that's the thing.
I love it.
I've been warned.
What was your favorite thing about portraying Jazzy in the film?
Oh my gosh, I just love Jazzy so much. I had so many fun parts. One, I thought our wardrobe department did an amazing job. We all had so much fun. And then you know, it was really important that all of us were slightly different. Like, we were very, like, distinct in our personalities, even though we were all, like, drunk and, you know, there were obviously a lot of overlap. So I had a really good time coming up with, like, that really weird, annoying voice. And so that was probably my favorite book because it's so ghastly, and everybody who knows me and loves my voice, especially being a voice actor, it's fun to be like, this is my voice in the film. Yeah.
Stephanie, what about you? What was your favorite part about playing Bella?
So I love being part of like an ensemble. Like, to me, that's so fun. So having the four of you ladies to just like riff off of, especially because, you know, our scenes are together, that was so fun. Growing up, Belle from Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney princess. So there was a lot that I kind of drew upon about like what kind of things about Belle can I draw into the Bella character. So even though, yes, she is drunk and just absolutely, you know, insufferable, there is a side of her that wants to be, you know, like, girl boss, you know, and like she tries to be smart and do her research, you know, and ask the professionals for, you know, their opinion. So it was fun to try and bring some like actual groundedness to it, even though obviously it's ridiculous and whatnot. So that was fun, and I made like a Spotify playlist of like the Bella B Spotify playlist that was absolutely ridiculous, that I would like play to get into character, you know, some Beast Spears, some Pussycat Dolls, Lizzo, you know.
Yes.
Oh my God, that was really fun. So for those of you who don't know, this film was actually made on a decommissioned Staten Island ferry, owned by a couple people who are on SNL, Pete Davidson and Colin Jost. Can you guys talk about the experience of filming on an actual decommissioned Staten Island ferry?
I'm really curious to hear your. I have stories because I was on it for every single shoot day as the first AD. But I'm really curious for your experience to come into that world.
I loved it. I mean, it was everything that we wanted the movie to be. Like, it was, you know, grimy and gross and like delightfully Staten Island ferry. Like, it was like the authentic experience. And taking the ferry to get to set was really fun. So like, I don't know, it was just really the whole experience, like getting there, like being on the ferry, you know, setting up our little departments and everything like within it, and then having to move based on where we were shooting. I don't know, everything was just so fun, and I thought y'all did a really amazing job of keeping it really organized and like moving us along, and you know, working with the situation and everything. I thought it was I had a great time. I was like super.
Great, we did our job.
You dabbed it. Crushed it.
It was incredible in so many ways. So it was docked for most of the time that we shot. And the ferry is huge. I mean, there's 3 floors to it. So we all got our steps in every day. And like, you know, you have to go back up to the 3rd floor, and then, you know, we did have our walkies, but it's not always just people respond, so then you have to go back and forth. But it was talk about, you know, getting into character. You're surrounded by it, you're in it. And so by the time I filmed my scenes, which was probably like the 2nd week, I had been on that boat for a week and a half. So I was very accustomed to it, and I felt like, you know, I know this boat very, very well. I think I know this boat still very, very well, inside and outs and all the different rooms. And yeah, that's authentic. Like, that is authentic. We didn't do too much to it. It really is that. Yeah, so it was really
That's
cool.
crazy. Well, it's allegedly haunted, so did either of you happen to notice anything supernatural or unusual?
Okay, so it's super creepy in the engine room. And the engine room is where all the switches are for the power. And being the first AD, a lot of times I was one of the last people to close up every night. And nobody wanted to go down there by themselves. So we would go in teams. And it's creepy down there when nobody's down there yet.
That's so cool. I wish I knew about this part.
It's
Nobody told me
and
about
there's
it.
like a weird sign, like a handwritten note on the door, like going down there by like a past crew member. And something that was like, you know, I'm done here. Like, it was like really ominous. And I just remember like, this is where we have to go to shut off the power on every night, really? So yeah, there's some things
layers of excitement.
I think we're doing an escape, right? They do an escape
Oh, the
room.
escape room, yeah.
So I can understand how that could come to be, because that place really did feel like an escape room, especially the engine room, for sure.
Yeah, there's an escape room based on the film. Or Vibes Coffee is also launching a drink
Yes,
named after
that's
the
right.
movie. If you go to Screamboat's Instagram, you can find out all about the escape room, all about the drink, but it's so cool to have all these tie-ins for an indie
Right?
horror film that's
That's why it's so
incredible.
fun, because we can do all these things like that.
So since this is a horror comedy, I have to imagine that, especially, with a 3 foot tall murderous mouse on the loose, it's kind of like a fun set to be on. Funny stuff happens. I'm a huge fan of collecting physical media and Blu-rays. Do you think there's going to be a blooper reel? And if there is there something that comes to mind like that was really funny that happened during takes or behind the scenes?
Well, I think they're definitely, I would assume they're gonna do bloopers or something, because there's so much stuff that we got that you can't possibly put in the film. And I know, like some of the guest stars, so the guys from Practical Jokesters,
Oh, okay.
they had like a whole thing that they did, so maybe that will make it into it. And they're just riffing off each other. I know our group, we did a whole scene where we were just riffing off of each other at the
Absolutely.
snack bar.
Oh my gosh, I want to see a blooper reel
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
birthday brigade at the snack bar.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's plenty of additional footage, so I don't know, but my guess is probably, so
We're rooting for it.
Okay, I have to tell you guys something hilarious that I found out last night.
Oh,
So,
tell us.
you wanna know?
Amy Schumacher, who plays the EMT in the film, not a real EMT.
Oh, my
Spoiler
God,
alert.
yes.
Someone got hurt on set, right?
Yeah.
And a innocent bystander was like, hey, like you're an EMT, can you go help? And she had to explain, like, no, I'm just in costume. I'm not a real EMT.
Yeah, I had to start making that announcement where we'd have the background actor that would be like, by the way, this is Amy, she's an actor, our real set medic is so-and-so over here. But yes, she really got me character.
I would love for that to be on the Blu-ray. So if this film inspires someone to go to New York, I can't imagine you wouldn't want to go after seeing this. Where would be a place each of you would recommend that they check out during their trip?
You go first, because you are more New York than me.
Well, I did answer this question, and I think I will stand by it. My favorite thing that I feel like a lot of people don't get to do is to just walk the city. And it's very walkable, and it's not very big. You can do a whole thing in a day. And I would just start, I guess, wherever you want, but maybe like somewhere like top of Central Park-ish, and just walk down and feel how each neighborhood changes. Because like you can see it on the map, but like it really does energetically shift as you like walk through it. And it's so fun, and you see so many interesting people and interesting things happening. And if you get thirsty or hungry or whatever, like just wherever you are, you'll find something incredible guaranteed. Like that was one of the adjustments I had to make when I moved to LA, was just like, you have to like find the really good stuff. You can't just like walk randomly and like walk into somewhere amazing necessarily. But in New York, you can't. You just like walk into something, I don't know, 9 times out of 10, it's remarkable food, some weird hole in the wall place. And yeah, so I would recommend just walking all the way down to, I don't know, the tip, and just
The what?
the very tip of the island.
We just saw one on screen.
You're right.
But the tip is where the
Where
Staten
it
Island
is.
Ferry-
All the way down.
Yeah, it is.
And then if you want, take the Staten Island Ferry. I dare you.
It's free.
It really is.
It really is.
So sprinkled throughout the entire film, there are a ton of Disney Easter eggs. Do each of you have a favorite that you should point out, maybe in case someone didn't notice it the first
I
time?
have one that's really good though.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't even said it
Do
to
it.
anybody. So if anybody's familiar with Club 33, it's like the exclusive Disney club. You will notice in one of the scenes on the wall, the fire extinguisher and the number on the wall, it says 33 right there. And it's right there. And I remember us filming it. I'm like, wow, this is gonna be perfect. For the people that know, it's pretty cool. So that's
I don't know. I think the one that made me laugh out loud when I saw it the first time was when Mateo's in the water and he's just surrounded by all the like junk, and it's like the parasol from the chip and yeah, Mrs. Potts. I don't know. I love that part.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the like lines
Oh,
are
yeah.
so good.
I want to be where the people are.
Yeah.
So good, Spano.
I'm definitely a prize to be one.
That was yours. There's a lot of them.
Okay, I have to tell you, Jesse didn't know that a lot of these lines were Disney lines.
Sounds like Jesse.
And he was like, oh, I grew up on Nickelodeon. So if I don't get cast as Minnie Mouse, I'll take over as Captain Pete, honestly. No one tell him I said that, but.
Love Jesse. Jesse is incredible.
Oh,
He's so much fun.
So fun. I love asking people, especially when talking about horror films, what their favorite Halloween costume is that they've ever dressed up as. So is there one that comes to mind, whether it was funny or, you know, something you did with a friend?
I'm really weird about my Halloween costume, so I like to do things that like you have to figure out. So I have 3 that were my favorite. I wish they were Disney related because that would be so much fun, but they're not. One, I was the wind, and I put like hangers, and like everything was this way, and I sprayed my hair, and then I had an upside down umbrella, and I was like, everyone was like, what are you? And I'm like, that is the wind. And then I dressed in a koala onesie, and I put an E, a giant E on my chest, and I was drinking tea the whole time because I was koala tea. Equality. Yeah, you have to really put your brains on that one. And then one year, like when I was very, very young, I just dressed up like super sexy, and everyone was like, "What are you?" And I'm like, "I'm hot."
Love it.
Yeah.
Yours are really good. I've had some good ones though.
I want to hear yours.
The one that comes to mind, I actually won a costume contest for. My friend's mom had this giant pink ball gown, and she's like, see if you fit into it. And I put it on, and it fit into it. I was like, okay, I can do something with this. So I ended up being Princess Peach from Mario Brothers. Little crown, big dress, and so yeah, I guess I have been a princess before.
Okay, one of my favorite Halloween costumes, I don't know if I've ever even said this out loud, and I also don't know how many people, because you guys are pretty young, are gonna know what this is, but I was like bonehead once.
What?
It censored me. It doesn't want you guys to know. I was a conehead. Do you guys
A
remember?
conehead! Yes!
Yeah. But I think we have time for a couple audience questions. So if anyone out there wants, yes, go ahead right here.
Twofer, how large was the crew and how long of a shoot was it?
Okay, so let me rack my brain a little bit here, because it was like a year ago now that we shot it. I would say when the principal photography that we did like on the ferry, we were there for about a month, so like four weeks. And then we did a week here in LA for the creature unit and the miniature unit. And then how large was the crew? I would say on average 30 to 40. I mean, we're still a pretty lean crew. Like each department had like maybe 2 to 3 people. Like it was pretty skeleton crew. But you know, we pulled this off, so I'm very, very proud of it, and everybody was part of it.
Oh, right here in the blue.
Just curious about like the IP of the Mickey Mouse Steamboat. Like, was that something that the director like knew like ahead of time? Like, oh, like it's going to expire. Make a story around it. Can you like talk more about the story?
Yeah, I mean, I can answer that. I think I'm allowed to answer it. No, Steven did know about it. Because I remember he texted me. I told you we worked together a bunch. He's like, "Get this, Steamboat Willie, public domain, January 2024." I was like, "Okay, cool." And he's like, "You know what we're doing?" He's like, "I got a script." So we knew about it. And it's been his dream. Steven grew up in Staten Island. It was actually really special. We the first like night that we got there, his nonna made us a traditional Italian dinner for like the cast and the crew that was there. We got to stay at his house that he grew up in Staten Island. And the 2 other guys that are the producers from Fuzz on the Lens, Steve Delasala and Mike Levy, they're also born and raised Staten Island. So it's been Steven's dream since he was a kid to film something on the Staten Island Ferry. So it kind of was like this perfect storm of all these things lining up. And he loves doing, the parody thing. We did the mean one before this. So it was like dink, dink, dink. They knew people who knew the guys with the ferry, and miraculously it all came together.
Did you get to try Steven's Nona's peanut butter cookies?
I ate so much food, to be honest. I'm trying to remember. There was like so much food. I don't know if I had
Are they?
I
know, how do you know
I
that?
just know because everyone's been telling me that she made really good peanut butter cookies,
She made
so I was like really curious.
so there was like leftover food. She's like, hey, they have. I don't know how she made this much food. I'm like,
Nona's
can you come back? Like, can you do our catering for us? This is really good.
It's a good grandmother superpower.
It's so good.
Right here with that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I thought the prosthetics and the practical effects were amazing.
So
I'm just
good.
curious, like, as an actor, what it's like to work with like that
Yeah.
state-of-the-art stuff, and then also, like, is it the crew you normally work with, or you know, how's it?
Do you want to talk about getting?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was super fun. I don't know if I've ever had that kind of, like that much, like, on my face before. I did another horror movie. Hi, Sean. With Sean back there. And we had some pretty amazing special effects on that one too, but yeah, this one, like, having it, like, all, like, the way we were killed was so specific, and everything was, it was really fun, and it was really incredible to work with people who were just, they were so efficient. I couldn't believe how fast they had to get us ready.
Yeah,
So they had to get both of us ready,
Yes.
and we were fighting the sunrise.
Oh, always.
And so it was amazing to me, like, how quickly everyone, like, did that. And then yeah, they were just so nice, like, the people who were holding the wood. We
Yeah,
were like,
our department.
yeah, it's like, we're so sorry, are you ready? Okay, here we go.
Put this in your mouth.
Put it in your mouth. Okay, open it up, here we go. And they're like, and then, you know, they cut and they pull it out, and they're like, we're so sorry. I'm like, oh no, I mean, this is fine, but it was just so polite. Okay, here we go again, we're so sorry. Open up.
No, we have an incredible crew, like, as I've been saying. So Quantum Effects did a lot of our, like, the creature unit stuff and some very specific gag stuff. So anything with, like, the decapitation stuff and the head getting smashed, and they did all that in their studio, 3D printed design. Incredible, like, how realistic the dummy heads were to the actual actors was incredible. Like, the captain we had, like, propped up on one of, like, the benches when we weren't using it. That thing scared the crap out of me all the time. I was like, you're not real. And then as far as, like, the makeup goes, so our primary head of makeup department, Ashley, is fantastic. I've worked with Ashley a bunch. She's part of, like, the usual crew. So I was very familiar working with her, and she did an incredible job, and she was able to bring on a bunch of support of local hires in New York to help her. So, you know, when we needed to get 2 people through the chair, we had to.
Or like all 5 of us.
Or, yeah, all 5 of us. Luckily, we didn't need all 5 of us getting, like,
Oh, no.
special effects makeup. But getting girls glammed,
Oh,
guys, it does take some time.
And it was like we had to get glammed and then unglammed. Remember that? Because they were like, wait, they're drunk and they did their own makeup. Okay. So like pull something out.
They go like this.
I love it. I think we have time for one more question. Anybody else have a question? Go ahead.
What was the budget for this?
I do not know. That is beyond my pay grade. I'm not sure.
Yeah, a lot of cheese for the mouse.
Yes.
But I just want to say thank you again for everybody coming out tonight, missing the finale of The White Lotus, to be here and support. No one tell me shit, but let me just say, if Patrick dies,
I've heard that.
Oh my
You
God.
might be upset. I don't know. All
if
I've heard
Patrick dies, I'm unsubscribing. But the best way you can support this film is by telling your family, telling your friends. If you have something like Letterboxd or Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans, Grindr, anywhere you want, and just spread the word. Let people know to come see this in a theater the way it's meant to be seen and support indie horror. But thank you again, and give it up one more time for our guests tonight.